Mr. Walter Cho. The Honorable Andy Beshear, Governor of Kentucky, and Miss Brittany Beshear.
Is this your first state dinner?
This is our first state dinner. Very excited. South Korean company investing in the largest battery plant on planet Earth, just south of Louisville, Kentucky in Glendale. So excited to be here, excited about what we're doing together.
Are you going to be campaigning for President Biden in his re-election bid?
Well, we certainly have done so much with President Biden. You look at the Brent Spence Bridge in northern Kentucky, the largest infrastructure grant in U.S. history. But this next year, I'm up for election. That's in 2023. And that race is certainly not going to be about what's going on in the White House, but going on in the houses around Kentucky.
Do you want to come back and campaign for you?
Our race is going to be very personal. It's going to be about a 3-year record that we have with Kentuckians. And it's about whether we've worked to create good jobs, which we've created a record, Kentucky Jobs. It's going to be about the expansion of health care. It's going to be about public safety. It's going to be about public education. And all that's very personal to people. Those are all what governor's races are about. So, thank y'all. Sure. You can get a photo of her.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Mr. Frank Biden and Miss Mindy Ward.
Sir, how are you going to be involved in the president's re-election bid?
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I understand. Thanks, Paul. Thank you. When they stop, go on. Go as far as you want. Thanks, man.
Miss Sarah Min and Mr. Matt Pincus. Mr. Joe Bay and Mr. Janice Bay.
any way he wants me to be.
It's a little chilly with the doors open.
Yeah, it's gonna get colder when it starts.
It doesn't get that hot.
The Honorable Phil Scott, Governor of Vermont, and Miss Marion Dubois. Mr. Chanwopos and Miss Riempar. Mr. Son Kyung-shik. Mr. Kimun Kim. Mr. Ki-sun Chung. Mr. Chaeyoung Lee. The Honorable Edgar Kagan and Miss Cynthia L. Geyer. The Honorable Penny Pritzker and Miss Vivian Greenberg.
Secretary Pritzker, you're looking forward to the DNC being in Chicago this year?
Yes, very much so. We feel very fortunate. Thank you.
Think it's going to go well?
Of course it will. I know.
The Honorable Ami Bera, U.S. Representative of California, and Dr. Janine Bera.
You know, he's had a great first year's historic, so we'll all be out there talking about everything we did in this last Congress, how we're implementing it, how we're rebuilding and reinvesting in America. So there's a lot to share, and we'll celebrate in November 2024.
Are you going to be out there though campaigning?
I will be, yeah. And I was out there in 2020 in Iowa and Nevada, so I think you'll see all of us out on the road. Excellent, thank you.
Mr. Jinroy Ryu. Miss Chloe Kim and Miss Jean Yang.
Over here. No, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Nobody likes them.
Yes, I am very nervous.
What are you most excited to do while you're here?
I heard the food's gonna be really good.
It should be very
But just being at the White House is always such an honor, so I'm really happy to be here. I was here, when was it, in May of last year after the Olympics, so we're back.
You didn't wear your medal.
I didn't wear my medal. I don't know where it is, so lost and found, yeah.
You're designing now too, is that right?
I am.
Did you design?
I did not design this. I wish I did, but I'm not there yet. But I do have my collection coming out with Roxy, the new one coming out in November, I believe, so stay tuned.
Is there anyone you're looking forward to meeting tonight?
Oh, I'm getting kicked out. I'm sorry.
Oh, you take a quick picture.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mr. Taewon Che. Mr. Jaehyun Lee.
Just want to be ready. I was a little unprepared.
I'm going to send out
Mr. Uisun Chung. The Honorable Tammy Duckworth, U.S. Senator of Illinois, and Mr. Brian Bowlesby.
Hi, Senator. When did you find out that the president wanted you to serve on his re-election bid?
Earlier in the week, and the president called me on Saturday himself and asked me to serve. I was very honored to say yes.
Were you surprised?
I was actually. I was a little bit surprised, but I've been Team Biden all the way, so I was pleased to be able to say yes.
What do you think he needs to do to overcome Americans' concerns about his age?
Continue to deliver for the American people like he has been doing all along. You know, under President Biden, we reduced a deficit, the debt by $500 million. We reduced the price of insulin for seniors to $35. We passed bipartisan infrastructure deal. All of this was done with this president because of his experience, because of his wisdom, and he's going to continue to deliver for the American people. I'm sorry? Get him reelected.
Mr. Christopher Kuhn. Mr. Kwakmo Kuhn. Ms. Eun Yang and Mr. Robert Kang.
So I understand you speak some Korean. I do speak some Korean. You're practicing. You know what? I practice with my mom almost every day. And what did she say? She said to make sure that you are polite and presentable and professional, which she says she's confident I always am.
Okay.
So she's not worried about me.
Okay. So, what are you most excited to do?
I don't know, just to enjoy the experience. It's such a thrill and an honor, so I just want to be present today.
Okay, well, have a great time.
Thanks, Roxanne. Good to see you.
The Honorable Daniel Crittenbrink and Miss Nami Crittenbrink. The Honorable Stephen K. Benjamin and the Honorable DeAndre Benjamin.
Hi, it's your first state dinner, right?
It is, Francesca. How are you?
I'm
This is
good.
Andre. She'll be better than you on Saturday. Good to see you.
Have a good time.
Yeah, don't get me in
How's
trouble.
the role going?
It's been fantastic. It's been a wonderful 3 weeks. Working my tail off, but enjoying every bit of it.
Are you excited about the re-election bid?
I'm excited that we get 4 more years of fantastic leadership under the president and vice president. See you later.
Ms. Min-Jin Lee and Mr. Christopher A. Duffy. Ms. Jessica Fox.
Come forward a little bit. Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Leah Salonga.
I'm sorry. Are you looking forward to performing tonight? Oh, nervous and excited.
Tell us what you'll be singing.
I can't. You'll know when you hear it. But we introduce everything anyway before each song, so you'll know beforehand.
Are you singing all together or different solos? Or?
Everybody's doing a solo, and then I'm doing a duet with
Ms. Vosk, and then the three of us get to sing together as well.
Which Disney princess would Flotus be? Like the first lady?
Belle. The books.
Is this your first White House state dinner?
Yes, it is. It feels wonderful. It feels like being in the middle of a fairy tale. It's very fancy, and we've been able to sort of wander the halls yesterday in rehearsal. Thank you all very much. I'm just freaking out that BTS was in these halls. I've been freaking out all day. All day.
Mr. Norm Lewis.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Norm, have you ever performed in the White House before?
No. So I'm very excited about this. Oh God, always nerves. But you know what? It's for a good cause, and I'm very excited to be here.
What are you singing?
I will be singing "This Is the Moment" from Frank Wildhorn and Rickus. This is something I think the Korean government really loves. They love Frank Wildhorn's music. Yes. Thank you so much.
Mr. Michael Arden.
Start standing there.
That was the charge.
General Mark Milley and Miss Holly Ann Milley. Mr. Marcus Freeman and Miss Chong Freeman. Mr. Kim Jun-pyo, Director General for North American Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Hyun Jun-cho. The Honorable Young Kim, U.S. Representative of California, and Mr. Charles Kim.
Are you going to be campaigning for President Biden? Thank you.
Ms. Chrisette Hudlin and Mr. Reginald Hudlin. Miss Mina Harris, and Mr. Nicholas Ajaglu.
Just supporting when I can.
Mr. Andrew Emhoff and Dr. Judy Lee. Ms. Janet Murguia and Mr. Mauro A. Morales. Mr. David J. Cho. The Honorable Mitt Romney, U.S. Senator of Utah, and Miss Ann Romney.
Senator, will you be supporting McCarthy's bill?
Absolutely. He's now laid down a reasonable proposal, and time for the White House to negotiate. That's the way a two-party system works, which is both have to come together and work out a compromise. That's what's got to be done now.
The Honorable Marilyn Strickland, U.S. Representative of Washington, and Mr. Patrick J. Irwin. Ms. Youngmi Michelle Kam. The Honorable Phil Murphy, Governor of New Jersey, and Ms. Tammy Murphy.
Governor, what's your take on the president's re-election bid and how?
I love it. Absolutely love it.
What do you think his chances are?
He's going to win. A lot of hard work, but he's going to win.
Ms. Beth Shaw and Dr. David E. Shaw. The Honorable Mitchell Landrieu and Miss Grace Landrieu.
So how do you think infrastructure is going to play in the re-election?
We're building a lot of stuff fast.
Mr. Arthur Blake and Miss Jennifer Hale. The Honorable Mazie Hirono, U.S. Senator of Hawaii, and Mr. John Yang.
I am wearing a hanbok, don't you know? You know what? This is a hanbok. It's Korean.
No, I know what it is.
I know. Yes, thank you so much. But the whole thing is not to trip over it. That is my goal in life right now.
Have you been successful so far?
So far, because I have my friend here, John Yang, who is making sure that nothing happens to me. But I'm glad to be able to wear this because cultural diversity, as far as I'm concerned, is really important. And as it turns out, I just introduced a bill today that helps more Koreans come to our country with work visas. What a coincidence. Okay. I know.
What do you think of the Supreme Court staying the abortion medication for now?
Well, I hope that when they finally decide the case, that they will decide that the FDA has the authority to make these decisions, and it should not be ideologically driven judges in one district. You know, there was judge shopping there.
Do you think that abortion rights is going to be a major issue in this?
Yes, I believe so. I think so. Yes. Because what could be more fundamental than a woman being able to control her own body? And today, as you may know, we had a hearing in judiciary about post-Dobbs. One of the people who testified reminded us that there was a time in our country when women, slaves, did not own their own bodies. And I said at the hearing, this is where we are today, where women, we do not own our bodies. We do not have bodily autonomy. And what could be more freedom-taking than forcing a woman to bear children? So,
Thank you.
that's it. I will fight on. Sorry.
The Honorable Ted Lieu, U.S. Representative California, and Miss Betty Lieu.
So how are you going to be helping with the re-election bid?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How are you going to be helping with the president's re-election bid?
So Joe Biden is going to win Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and it will not be close. He's going to be our next president again, and I look forward to working with him to continue the progress we've already made.
Are you going to be out there campaigning with
Absolutely. Yeah. If you look at the Wisconsin state results just a few weeks ago, it shows that on the abortion issue, the overwhelming majority of Americans are pro-choice, and they're going to come out and vote next November. And this election, again, is not going to be close.
What do you make of his opening ad being on democracy?
I love his opening ad. And I also love the whole Dark Brandon theme. You can buy T-shirts and mugs with Dark Brandon on it. But if you don't have a democracy, obviously you can't have anything else. And so I commend President Biden for having democracy as well as all the other issues he mentioned, including abortion, in that ad. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
The Honorable Michelle Steele, U.S. Representative of California, and Ms. Siobhan Steele. Mr. Gideon Yu and Ms. Susie Min Yu. The Honorable Richard Verma and Pinky Verma. The Honorable Avril Hayes, Director of National Intelligence, and Mr. David DeVicki. The Honorable Linda Thomas Greenfield, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations.
Ambassador, what's your take on the latest?
The Honorable Victoria Newland and Dr. Robert Kagan. Miss Angelina Jolie and Mr. Maddox Jolie Pitt.
The people.
What do you take on President Biden's re-election?
The Honorable Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State, and the Honorable Evan Ryan.
Right after.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Hello. Good to see you all.
The Honorable Victoria Wooders, Mayor of Tacoma, and Mr. Scott Breckenridge. Honorable Judy Chu, U.S. Representative of California, and Mr. Dean Chu.
It's going to be an enormous issue because of the threat to so many women in America. We are still awaiting the decision on mifepristone, and over 50% of the abortions in the United States are done through that. If mifepristone is banned, it affects everybody, and even in my state, which is very much for abortion rights. So yes, abortion is definitely on the ballot.
He said last night that would essentially be a national abortion ban. Do you agree?
I do think Republicans want a national abortion ban. That is why I believe that they are pursuing mifepristone. Yeah.
Dr. Kim Tae-ho, First Deputy Director of National Security, Office of the President. The Honorable Lee Chung-myun, Secretary to the President for Foreign Affairs, Office of the President.
Great idea.
The Honorable Bruce Reed and Miss Bonnie Lepard. The Honorable Steve Richetti and Miss Amy Richetti.
Steve, how did the calls with supporters go yesterday?
Great. They went great.
The Honorable Jen O'Malley Dillon and Mr. Patrick Dillon.
How's the re-elect going so far?
Great.
The Honorable Dr. Liz Sherwood Randall. The Honorable Kim Tae-ho, Chairman of the Foreign Affairs and Unification Committee, National Assembly. His Excellency Yi Chang-yang, Minister of Trade, Industry, and Energy. The Honorable Chung Chomshi, Member of the National Assembly. The Honorable Park Sung-min, Member of the National Assembly. The Honorable Kim Eun-hye, Senior Secretary to the President for Public Relations, Office of the President. The Honorable Michael C. Dillon and Miss Patricia Dillon. Ambassador Catherine Tai, U.S. Trade Representative, and Mr. Robert Skidmore. Dr. Che Sang-mok, Senior Secretary to the President for Economic Affairs, Office of the President. The Honorable Chu Ho-young, Floor Leader of the People Power Party. Miss Joanna Gaines and Mr. Chip Gaines.
Can you tell us about your trip to Korea?
Oh, it was incredible.
Once in a
First
lifetime,
time.
for sure. Loved it. Oh gosh, no, it looks beautiful.
Well, I will say, I will say the white interior is and exterior is just her thing. So
it's beautiful.
So good to see you guys.
Thank you.
No comment there. Yeah.
His Excellency Pak Min-sik, Minister of Patriots and Veterans Affairs. His Excellency Pak Ho-kyun, Minister of Culture, Sports, and Tourism. The Honorable Andy Kim, U.S. Representative of New Jersey, and Miss Jane Kim. Mr. Kim Jun-pyo, Director General, North American Affairs Bureau, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Honorable Karine Jean-Pierre.
Thank you.
She took no questions. Had no announcement. Didn't want to get ahead of the president.
The Honorable Kirk Campbell and Dr. Lyell Brainerd. The Honorable Lorraine Bowles and Mr. Dan Smith.
Are you excited about the re-elect? Of course.
Close doors. Ready, shut. Ready, face. Forward, march.
Oh,